Okay, today's special guest, Emma, is giving us the bump. Go.
That's right. So, a farmer, a realtor, and a lawyer sat down in a studio. What happens next, we're not quite sure.
Find out right after this.
We've already had a pre-show.
We always
for
have
the
a pre-show.
Yeah.
We talked about all the controversial things before Peter sat down in the chair.
Now we're good to go. I wore my Rushmore shirt today in honor of this election.
It's very American.
It's very
I
patriotic.
wore my Willie Nelson shirt today
in honor of this election.
in honor of this election.
I wore my label shirt because I'm a guest.
Farmer. Emma's been clearly defined as farmer.
Last night I had my shirt on that I was really thinking about wearing today, which is the 1-star review government. Very bad, would not recommend.
0 out of 10.
But
That's great.
but then I was wearing it and I was awake. I just intentionally, I'm like, I'm just not going to even try to go to bed until I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that's fair. 'Cause
And,
then the wheels will start spinning.
So I was sitting up and I was just, whatever. And I'm starting to get sleepy. I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to go to bed. And I get up and as I'm walking through the kitchen, I'm like, I forgot to put the pork shoulders in.
No.
And so at 1 o'clock, I'm like, so then I got them out. I put Grunkle Will's
Yes.
black bark dust on them.
Yes.
My custom special recipe.
Custom.
And I turn on the smoker first so it starts warming up, and then put the chips in because I have an electric smoker on my back porch because I didn't want to put the fire.
Fair enough.
There,
Yeah.
I do have charcoal grills out there on fire mats.
Not living on the edge.
No,
Just
unless
a little
you're
bit.
trying to melt your siding.
Only a little
like
bit.
A lot of people do.
I did
Really.
that. I did that once.
Like
As a
everyone
young
has.
man,
Yeah.
I melted our vinyl siding.
Yeah, there's just like a wound on the side of houses
Yeah.
that is known as the siding melt.
So I put the pork shoulders in at 1 a.m. and then of course,
Fun.
I was awake, so I went to bed about 3.
Oh boy.
So I'm good to go.
A 1-star government, I think that's unfair. You know
Yeah.
what's wrong with the government? It's
What's that?
when we got the people involved.
Well,
Yeah,
but
they
it's
do that.
government of the people, by the
Right,
people,
but
for
like,
the people. There, see,
I
our
think-
pork butt's at 159 right now.
I think the design was
Very nice.
well, to quote a very wise man, they were geniuses.
Yeah.
But it's all of the poking and prodding and twisting, and it's all people-y now.
It was
Very people-y.
It was well designed. I mean, brilliantly designed. It really was. I mean, it's just crazy how good they got it. We've tinkered with it over the years, only 20 some odd times, which is amazing.
Yeah,
in
which is pretty
250
amazing.
Years.
Yeah.
Mostly for the good.
Yeah.
Couple of real bonehead moves, like the 16th and 17th Amendment. Stupid. Shouldn't have done either one of those.
And as the foundation really, like you said, we've only tinkered with it 20 times. It's all that other stuff that's like a growth off the side.
Growth.
Yep.
Yes.
All that stuff that was never
Well, they weren't,
ordained or...
it's interesting because that was all designed to prevent a monarchy but they were aware of the tyranny of the majority. So they built it as a republic, not a democracy.
Yeah.
And
Very important difference.
Very important.
extremely
difference.
important difference. Vote yes on Amendment 4. Restore the republic. Get rid of the pure democracy there. But anyway, I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or not. But Amendment 4.
If you don't know, you're supposed to vote today.
Yeah,
There's
you do
something
need to
happening
vote
today.
today.
Like if you've been under the rock and you don't know, like today is the day to
It
vote.
is voting day. There was a significant danger, and I told Shelby last night as we were out putting out signs, I'm like,
Yeah.
make sure I remember to vote. I could totally see me.
I had that conversation with myself this morning.
Because for 2 years I've been running for office. I could just see me on today. I don't have a lot of finally campaign stuff to do. I'm focused on cooking and getting the food ready
Yeah.
for the little watch party we're having tonight. And I can just see me, I forgot to vote.
Wait.
I could totally see that happening.
I had that conversation with myself this morning. Yesterday was pretty chaotic, and I'm like, I need to remember to vote today.
Right.
Right across from my office.
I seriously thought about taking advantage of the early voting because I was in Marshfield plenty.
Yeah.
I just didn't. So.
I totally had the girl discussion of voting. Like, I wanted to go first thing to make sure, like, check the box. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be encouraging to my community and my, whoever might interface with me on the social medias and who might be watching. So I could take a picture of my sticker and they'd be like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
Emma voted. I should vote. We should
Yeah.
all vote. But then I'm like, I don't want to leave the house twice.
Yeah.
Except for the waffle, because that's worth it.
Waffles.
Absolutely.
So then we got to...
Has Beth said hi yet?
She's working.
She's a pollster.
That's
She's
right.
working.
Our
That's right.
favorite pollster. So,
Hello, Beth.
Be kind
In
to your
spirit.
pollsters, okay?
And bring your photo ID. It's Missouri.
Bring your
not
photo
California or New
ID
York.
and be kind to your pollsters because I don't know that anybody's angry at pollsters like they are
I've
like
never
Walmart
seen anybody
checkers.
acting a fool at a pollster.
Nobody's typically in a big hurry, but yeah, those people are basically community volunteers
Yeah.
in essence. You start that job, you do it for 50 years. So can you imagine doing anything else for 50 years? And a lot of times they're kind of bored. It's up to
Yeah.
us to go see them.
Well, I was
take 'em a
talking to
cookie.
our wonderful
Take him a cookie.
circuit clerk, Stan Whitehurst, here in Webster County.
Haha,
And,
Stan's he's a peach.
he's a good dude. He's done that job for 28 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Good.
got no complaints about the Webster County crew. I call over there. It goes very smooth.
Yeah.
I have to call them a lot.
Good crowd.
It goes very smooth over there.
And I was talking to him, and he said, Howard's having trouble getting poll workers. I'm like, oh, well, if I know anybody. He's like, well, they have Republicans and Democrats. They
Right.
can't find enough Democrats in Webster County to work the polls.
Could you just pretend today? No,
No.
I'm not pretending.
Well, I think have they maybe borrowed some? There was
I
one
think,
year
yeah.
we
Borrowed.
walked.
I think
We
they have to
walked-
borrow them from other counties.
We walked in one year and there was this very young whippersnapper that's like, oh, you made a difference today. And I'm like,
Calm
"You're-
down, Leroy."
You're new here, aren't you?
you need to. You maybe had too much coffee, pal.
That's right. I think you, and I did not look for a label, but I'm like, oh, that is some enthusiasm like I
I
haven't
wonder
seen in
if
a while.
that enthusiasm remained all day, and how the people who've been doing it for 30 years felt. They're like,
Right.
he's at first it was kind of charming. He's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, educate us, Will. Why are there? I mean, I understand the reason why you would want a fair, somebody representing both sides.
Yes.
Is that really a thing? Like, why do we have to wear these labels? Why can we not just have
I mean, you don't
citizenry?
even register as a.
Yeah.
No, you don't have. You can.
Yeah.
Register as a Republican or Democrat in Missouri. You're not required to. That's kind of one of the things that some of the people, if you get far enough into this, are advocating for is that you register as a party, and you can register independent or you can register libertarian, but then we have closed primaries so that you don't have, like in Webster County, everybody knows there's a large percentage of our small pool of Democrats that will, in primaries in particular, pull Republican ballots and vote in the Republican
Yeah,
primary.
I don't like that.
It's a little
But there's really
Because-
no way to.
disingenuous.
There is really no way to.
But it's a free country, built by geniuses.
Well,
Yeah.
the parties are private organizations.
Yeah.
They're not government entities. The
Yeah.
parties
Yeah.
run themselves, and so
Yeah.
they get to choose how they will choose their candidate, as we saw in the 2024 election when the Democrats literally chose their presidential candidate. Whatever you think about that,
Yeah.
they can do it how they want. So there's some advocacy for having registrations and closed primaries in Missouri, so that if you want to vote in a primary, you have to register.
Yeah.
I am a Republican. I am a Libertarian. or I'm independent.
And I
suppose
think
if
if-
you
I
register
think if-
independent, I don't know what would happen. You may not get to vote in a primary if you register independent.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it is currently slightly flawed, and it probably is not a good way to fix it. And it's just one of those things you gotta.
Well, our founding fathers, since we've already been back there once
Yeah.
today, they were opposed to
Yes,
political parties.
they
They did
were.
not want political parties, but political parties quickly formed.
Yeah.
Almost immediately, political parties showed up.
The people being very people-y.
Well, and specifically, I mean, in as we were drafting our Constitution in 1787, is when we actually. So 1776 is when we had the war.
Mm-hmm.
Our country in its current form and its current Constitution didn't happen until 1787. So we've actually got another 11 years, and we can do 250 again.
Yes, I like it. That
That could
250
be
was
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
I was on board with that.
But there were two
Be 250
groups.
squared.
252.
There were two different groups that were advocating as we were drafting and putting this wonderful Constitution together. There were the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, and they were two distinct camps with different views on government. And so the Constitution was passed through the advocacy of the Federalists, and you can read the Federalist Papers and you read the
Yeah.
Anti-Federalist Papers, and they're fascinating reads. The Bill of Rights actually exists because of the Anti-Federalists. And if you think it through, like the Constitution, like this is what the government can do, and the Bill of Rights exists to say this is what the government
Can't do.
cannot do. You know,
Right.
stay out of this stuff. So that's where and that kind of worked.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
again,
you had two parties.
yeah,
They weren't parties; they were different camps of
thought.
that came together and produced a really good document.
Yeah.
that's been what's been interesting to me about 4 and 5 is because the emotional route that, and let's be honest, 4 and 5, really 5, are simply different theories on tax code.
Yeah, at their
At their core,
Yeah.
just at the core, at the surface level, or not at the core, at the core level.
There's Larry with
different-
Design with Will pen on.
Oh, he voted too.
And he voted.
Nice.
Good job, Larry.
Gold star. And okay, it's literally just tax code we're talking about here, folks. Like
Yeah.
this is not something to fist fight your neighbor
Well, you
about.
said the key word is emotional.
Well, people don't make decisions nor buy based on facts and logic.
No.
This is
These
something like
decisions are made based on emotions and feelings, and everybody in marketing knows that.
And
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
I can appreciate that, but at other moments I'm like,
whoa,
stop it.
whoa. Just sit down at the breakfast table
Back
and
that-
talk about your taxes.
Back that truck up, turn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I
crazy.
just because you're not doing anybody any favors.
And I understand getting a like emotional or not emotional. I understand getting intense feelings about taxes. I think we all have them when we pay them. But
You think?
yeah. But at the same time,
For
it's like
sure.
this needs to be approached as more of a business transaction versus some sort of moral
But
thing.
they're so quick to go, this is just those rich people trying to screw everybody else, or this
I'm
is
so
just
tired
the
of that
swamp
rhetoric
trying to
for
get
so
more
many
money. And I'm
reasons.
like, did she even read the stuff?
No, have you been
Nobody
to a
reads anything anymore.
have
I'm
you
gonna tell you
been
that
to
right
a
now.
town hall meeting where a man starts at the beginning and talks all the way through it from top to bottom? I mean,
I'm one of those people,
Yeah.
and maybe y'all are too, but I get every election cycle, not just this one, when it's like the Facebook messengers and the text message coming on. How are you voting on this? What do you think about this? How you do about that? How you do that? And so I get to vote 30 or 40 times by the time
Yeah.
I tell everybody that asks me how to vote. But somebody asked me about. They're like, I really like Amendment 5, but I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt funding for schools. And I'm like, dude, it's literally in the text of the amendment.
Right.
cannot cut funding for education.
Don't
That's
watch-
the one thing that's actually in there.
Yeah, don't watch the commercial. Like read the words.
People don't read stuff. I get a lot of times, my job has a lot to do with contracts. So, and it's the same contract we use over and over and over. And people request a lot of information very adamantly that they need this specific information.
And it's in the document.
And it's often in the document,
Yeah.
and often it's available in multiple places, and it's provided, but then they don't read it.
Yeah.
They demand to be given something,
Well-
and then they don't give it a second look.
How many pages is your document?
Well, that one's 11, but there's a lot of others that go along with it.
So, how many people could read it through once and understand what it says?
Virtually no one.
Is that not why you have a license of some
That's
sort?
why I have a license.
Well, and that's
Yes.
that's
So-
where I would like to give some grace in these amendments because
Right.
they're laws.
They are.
Yeah.
It's not how do I say this without being obnoxious?
No,
I don't know that I can
it's
do it.
not. It's not
It's
easy.
way easier for me to read it after 3 years of law school and 20 and almost 30 years
Yeah.
of practice in law to read it and go, I understand this.
than
I know
somebody
what it
who
means.
has not had a law degree.
So I'm willing to extend the grace to go, I understand these are complicated, but can I at least have the grace of going, oh, you're a lawyer, you probably do know how to read
Shanda,
it and
well,
not get
Yeah.
not
Not
get it.
get Shanda asked for cliff notes on 4 and 5. Will, can you give cliff notes?
Sure. So Amendment 4, there's a reason why Amendment 4 is out there. And the reason is we have had several amendments to our Constitution. That's the other thing. Understand the difference between an amendment to your Constitution and the proposal of a new statute. So on your ballots, as you go forward and you look at it, you will see two different things. You'll see proposed amendment, constitutional amendment, and you will see propositions. Propositions are just statutes, so lesser.
Well,
Constitution is you're changing the
The
way
fabric
your government
of your
will work.
state
Now,
government.
our Constitution in Missouri is a ridiculous size.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's
and
been amended over 100 times.
Right? It
Yeah.
houses some ridiculous things.
Yeah.
The amendment so we have the constitutional right to have marijuana in our state because of the amendment
By the
process.
Constitution.
By
And
the
that-
Constitution.
And that's a good distinction because it wasn't a statute.
It wasn't a statute.
It was a
It's-
constitutional amendment.
It's like you have the right to free speech. You have the right to bear arms. You have the right to smoke marijuana.
Smoke the
That's
ganja.
That's the way we. I
Wait,
know.
what?
Yeah, that's what we've done in
Okay.
Missouri, and that's a great example. And the others that people will cite is our last abortion amendment that made Missouri the most abortion-friendly place in the world.
Constitutional amendment.
Constitutional amendment and Medicaid expansion is in our Constitution.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that's the thing. A lot of things that people don't understand is they're not seeing a lot about 4 is stating we don't want to be doing constitutional. Well, say it the right way. I don't
so
want to say it the wrong
what
way.
4 did is all of those that we just named passed by a simple majority in the whole state. And those majorities came from 4 little blue dots
Yeah.
of St. Louis, Kansas City, Columbia, and Springfield, whereas the rest of the state said no thank you.
Yeah, if you look at the maps, they've
So
mapped it out.
Those 4 little blue dots changed the state constitution for all of us.
Forever.
Yeah, and
Yes, and the distinction is once it's in the state constitution,
it requires a constitutional amendment to change it back.
yes.
So,
and it could simply have passed as a statute.
yeah, but then the legislature could have changed it, and that's why they did it as an
That's why they do it as
But
a
the real
constitution.
issue
Yes.
is when you look at how those passed, millions of dollars came in from liberal out-of-state groups poured into Missouri because they look at Missouri the way they looked at this is exactly why Colorado changed from red to blue.
Yep.
They had a very similar process where out-of-state money could pour millions of dollars into their state, hire people to collect the signatures in the initiative petition process to put the amendment on the ballot, and then pour millions of dollars into Kansas City, St. Louis, Columbia, and Springfield to convince those voters to
vote for it. Yep.
And basically, our Constitution was up for sale to the highest bidder.
Yep.
So
I mean, that's just a fact.
the legislature proposed a constitutional amendment. So there's 2 different ways constitutional amendments get on the ballot. Initiative petition, which is what Amendment 4 deals with, and then the legislature can put one on there. So legislature already has geographic diversity because the entire
There's
state's
districts.
represented.
Yeah.
So that is unchanged by Amendment 4. If the legislature, which already possesses geographic diversity, proposes an amendment to the Constitution, then it can pass statewide by a simple majority.
Yeah.
What Amendment 4 does, first of all, it restricts out-of-state money. It requires full text on the ballot, which is wonderful.
I like that.
But the key piece I was talking about is it requires a constitutional amendment that's proposed by initiative petition to pass by a simple majority in all 8 of our congressional districts. So the critics say, rightly, we will never pass another constitutional amendment by initiative petition again.
because
St. Louis will always vote no on the ones
And
everybody else votes
the
yes
rural
for.
areas will vote yes,
And we'll
yeah.
always vote yes on the ones that they're
And
voting.
I say good, so be it, because if we don't think that strongly about it, then maybe we should.
Then maybe
Well, and
we
I
should,
think
as
it's
a
a fair
state,
criticism.
collectively do it.
If I could go back, wave a magic wand and change it, I would have changed it to say 5 of 8 or 6 of 8, because I think it would have accomplished the same purpose. It would have stopped those 4 blue dots from amending the whole thing.
It would have,
but it would also have not allowed that 1 blue dot to veto the good stuff that the rest of us.
That's a valid point, too.
So I think that would have been a better drafted amendment. I'm voting for it anyway because we cannot continue to have our Constitution up for sale. We just can't.
Yeah.
The remedy may be too drastic. I can
I don't
see
know.
that, but I think it's the right. I think it's the right thing.
They
to
say
do.
one person, one vote, right? So let me distill this down to the rural outlook on this, okay? Just imagine if the only people voting ever were New York and California and Missouri, we would always be outvoted.
Correct.
Oh,
They would be making the decision for us, and everybody in Missouri would say, well, that's not fair.
Right.
Why are they deciding for all
and that's
of us?
exactly what's
And it's
currently
the same
happening.
thing when you bring it into
Yes.
just our little borders.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
Amendment-
Okay, 5.
Amendment 5 is really interesting, and so I have a long history with it because
Yeah.
I have been a fair tax advocate for decades. I think stealing is wrong. I just and stealing is the involuntary taking of property of one person for another. So at its core, involuntary taxation to me is a moral wrong. And
Because you're not just, you're not agreeing to pay income
Right.
tax. The government is telling you, you did this, 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 and this. You owe us this.
And so income taxes and property taxes are both involuntary taxation and are to me morally repugnant. They're just fundamentally flawed and wrong. And it does not matter. Like, okay, so I'm going to steal from Emma. That's wrong, right? Well, what if Emma and Lauren and Will all vote to steal from Emma? Does that make it okay?
Yeah.
No, of course it
Yeah.
doesn't.
No, it's not. I get what you're saying.
It doesn't make it okay just because we
voted
to say that.
yes, you could steal from Emma.
Yeah. And it doesn't make it okay to say, well, we're only going to steal from people that make a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Does that make it okay? No.
Apparently, for some
Everybody's
people
going to
think it
get
is,
stolen
yeah.
from, but different people are going to get stolen more from because of
what they did.
What
or
they did.
How
Yeah.
good they did it.
Does it? So I have this core fundamental just repulsion to income tax and property taxes because they're involuntary. I think it's stealing. I don't think it makes it
Yeah,
okay.
and it's really hard to do this in Cliff Notes mode because these are fundamental, moral, deep theory issues in
yeah.
our government. They're not simple things to figure out.
What Amendment 5 does at its core is it says we're going to get rid of the Missouri income tax, and we've got this little hook on the end that's going to help us get rid of property taxes too. And the way we're going to make up the difference is by changing the way we do sales tax. Mm-hmm. And so the legislature has 2 different things they can do to increase the sales tax in order to offset the income tax and, to a lesser extent, property taxes. They can expand what is being taxed with the sales tax to services. So
That are currently not taxed.
currently not taxed. So, like if you're a service industry, you don't pay sales tax on the service part of what you
Like if you
provide.
cut hair,
But if
There's
you're a
no-
lawyer,
Yeah, there's no taxes on real estate commissions currently.
right, and and then they can raise the sales tax rate. So, and that has freaked everybody out.
Yeah.
Because
I don't want to pay 20% sales tax.
well, you won't.
You won't. Yeah.
So first of all, Missouri's income tax rate's around 4.2%, and that's the top tax rate. So that's the highest tier. So one of the things I saw is because in the people that read the amendment say we're going to reduce the top tier first, and everybody freaks out. Says, oh, see, look, they're only benefiting the rich. Do you know what income level you have to be in Missouri to start paying the top income tax?
It's probably just above poverty line.
It's $9,000. It's
Yeah.
$9,000. It's like $9,634.
So pretty well, the vast
Everybody
majority is
paying
paying the top tier.
income tax rate.
Okay.
So freaking out because we don't have all the information. That's one.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to raise sales taxes
Just as
much
high as they want.
Well, no.
No.
The legislation says in any bill that proposes to expand or raise the sales tax rate, they have to show the fiscal notes that say, we expect it to raise this extra amount of money, and therefore we are reducing the income tax rate and a substantially similar amount. I think that's the actual ballot language.
It's already in the rules.
So the amendment does not allow the legislature to collect more tax. They can't.
It's shifting.
It changes who pay, not who, but
How it's collected.
how it's collected.
when it's collected, yeah.
So, okay. So you got so that's pretty, and by the way, the Hancock Amendment stays exactly where it is. It's still.
That's been completely
locks
false
it in.
throughout this
It's
process.
just-
I
it doesn't-
literally heard someone who worked on the Hancock Amendment confirm that.
Yeah,
This does not affect the Hancock
doesn't
Amendment.
affect the Hancock. So the legislature can only raise or expand the sales tax if they are reducing income tax by equivalent amount. Well, when there's no more income tax to eliminate, you
can't raise
you
the-
can't raise it or expand it. You're done at that point. Well, what about taxes on food? This is going to hit the poor people because the taxes on food and all that. Well, we already pay a lower sales tax rate. There are proposals around that says, well, we can actually, if we're expanding it here, maybe we can get rid of the sales tax on
Some items.
on
Some items.
groceries, basic necessities. We can not tax health care. We can not tax child care. And the governor has said he'll veto any bills that come to tax some of those things.
Yeah, they basically said healthcare is not going to get taxed.
So why didn't
yeah.
we write that in the text of the amendment? We could have. We didn't. Maybe we should have. I don't know. So that's one issue. So the legislature is severely constrained on their ability to raise.
They
sales
can't just
tax
go
if
hog
I do.
wild because of
Cannot.
those changes. Yeah.
Cannot. It's right in the bill.
But they do, and this was the most interesting part. If this passes, which there has been so much special interest money put out, tons of special interest money put out to prevent this from passing, because this would be a sweeping change in how Missouri does taxes.
Well, here's where this is really fundamental. You can quote me on this. The three pillars of socialism are income taxes, direct democracy, and envy. And that's socialism needs those three things to happen. Amendment 5 gets rid of the income tax. Amendment 4 gets rid of the direct democracy. And that's why the socialists hate these so bad. That's why the Democrats hate these amendments so bad. Every Democrat, every Democratic Socialist, all those organizations are so against these because they attack the two of the three fundamental, and we can't get rid of the third one.
Yeah.
Without Jesus.
Yeah.
We can't get rid of the third one.
Yeah.
But the other two, these are direct attacks on the pillars of
What blows
socialism.
my mind is the argument that this is another way that the rich don't get taxed is bonkers.
Well,
No,
let
well,
me
that's
explain
that's
how the-
emotional.
That
That's
is
just what they
so
want to hear.
Ridiculous.
That-
because
I mean,
they
that's
will
just
get
a-
taxed.
That's a
They will
switch,
actually-
and they go,
They
"Oop."
will get taxed more.
Yes, they
will get taxed
because,
more.
So fundamentally understand historically who sponsored and made and gave us the 16th Amendment income tax. You think the poor people did that?
No.
The rich people did that. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Because it lets them live off the work of people that are actually working, because now they're taking money out of your check. The rich people it was Rockefeller. Those are the people that had their little meeting and put together the Fed and the income tax and all that. And here's why. I'm a lawyer. I get this. Here's what we're going to do. You pay taxes because you get a paycheck. You understand that. It comes out of your check, withholding. You own a business, right? You get taxed when you distribute your profits to you.
Yep.
Okay, you control when you distribute your profits. That's your first benefit in a C type corporation. S corp you don't. But if we're talking about wealthy people, we're not going to do this S corp stuff. I mean, it's better for small businesses, people like that, because of double taxation. But if you're a wealthy person, here's what I can do for you. I can put your business in a C corporation. Now, your C corporation is going to pay corporate taxes. And then if you take a distribution, you'll pay personal taxes on that, which is a double taxation, which is why people think it's bad. But your corporation, your corporate tax rate is 20%. Your personal tax rate could be up north of 40.
40, yeah.
40. So we're cutting the tax in half as long as we don't distribute profits. Well, the IRS says you have to distribute some profits or we're going to tax you for retained profits. So we're going to distribute some profits, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to you've got 100% of the shares of the C corporation. So if we distribute $1 million to you, you pay 40% on your distribution after paying 20% on the profits of the corporation. So that's bad. We don't want that. Well, what if we donate 98% of your ownership to a donor-advised fund, 501c3 charity that you control? Now 98% of your $1 million distribution is untaxed. You only got $20,000. I can't do the math. $20,000.
Yeah.
Well, that you're going to pay 15% of that, and you don't really care. Well, you only got $20,000, right? But your corporation retained $800,000 of that profit after making paying the taxes, and
we're past the Cliff Notes phase.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to have the corporation loan you that $800,000 on a lifestyle loan at the IRS tax rate of 4%, which is what the IRS requires. You're going to use a percentage of that to buy a whole life insurance policy that you're going to use to secure the loan, so it's a legit loan. We'll run it through an ILIT, which stands for Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust, to secure it and provide asset protection and all of that. And instead of paying 40% on your distribution, you're going to pay taxes. You're going to pay 4% interest, and you're going to live off that $800,000 and pay virtually zero tax.
So
that's why Amendment 5.
This is another brand of genius.
Yeah.
That was cooked up.
So
right?
all of these rich people that use that structure, which is widely known and used all over the country.
They're allowed to do it.
Their rules.
Perfectly legal.
They don't pay income tax on any of that money because it's not income. It's a loan.
Yeah.
But if we switch it from income to sales
tax, every time they buy a
luxury
item, every time they buy anything.
Just like the rest of us. The other thing that nobody understands is I have people that have said, well, I'm retired. I don't pay income tax. Really? I own a business. I pay income tax. I pay the income tax to my employees. That's an expense to me as a business owner, and it becomes part of the price I sell for my
You're
service.
paying income tax.
Everybody pays income tax in the price of everything they buy.
And my deal is there's so many taxes layered in so many places. The simplest, easiest way to get away from this insane
One
tax code is one tax, and it's based off of consumption, and you pay taxes based off of the stuff you buy.
What you choose to consume.
What you choose to consume. And I am not choosing to consume yachts. I am choosing.
Right.
I don't even have a boat.
Well, and regardless,
you don't even have
you are,
you can't even float it.
I can't even float that boat.
If you had your paycheck automatically deposited every week into an interest-bearing account, your entire paycheck, because you didn't have taxes taken out, and you draw interest on that, you're already dollars ahead.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're already dollars ahead. So trying to think, the little tail. So the other thing, this confuses people. So because you expand the sales tax to broader items, there's a substantial likelihood that municipalities and other taxing districts that have a sales tax, a local sales tax, will get a windfall. They'll be like, oh, we just got all this extra tax money. Well, Amendment 5 says you can't just keep it. You can't just spend it. You have to use that to offset your property tax. So that's where people go, well, property tax is getting cut. Well, the schools are going to lose money. Well, no, it's in the amendment. They can't cut it.
It's an offset, yeah.
Even, the simpleton mind can ask, Will, what about areas where there's really no sales tax community or base. I mean, we know some places like that
rural-
within
sure.
within our realm here. There's no business going on there.
Yeah.
So, which is why they rely on property taxes. So Amendment 5 doesn't change that at all. Because if, like, I talked to somebody that was from the fire protection district, well, they're going to cut our fire protection funding. Like, well, does your fire protection district have a sales tax? No, it's all property tax. Well, then your fire protection district, it will not have a windfall from sales tax because you don't collect sales tax. So your funding will remain exactly the same.
Property taxes.
And even if it did have a sales tax, the only thing it would do would be offset your property tax collections, which means you're revenue neutral. You didn't lose a dollar, you didn't gain a dollar, which is exactly what we want.
So what you're saying is in areas where there's really not a sales tax base, the property taxes will not
The offset
adjust.
is entity specific. It's not like, oh, Springfield got more in sales tax, so Webster County has to cut, or Gainesville has to cut their fire protection district.
Yeah.
Right.
It's municipality specific. So, or specifically, it's taxing jurisdiction specific.
There you go.
So,
And the core of the problem is it's really hard to explain.
well, yeah, it took me 10 minutes to
Yes.
give you the cliff notes, and nobody.
And honestly, part of the
Nobody wants
time
to listen
my
to me for
eyes
10
were glazed
minutes.
over. But I fully did not understand these until I went to a town hall meeting with Chappell. And agree with Chappell or disagree with Chappell, he is exceptional at explaining this stuff because
He understands the language.
He understands the language, and he has taught, and he is involved, and he knows what he's talking about. And so, agree or disagree with him, this is a fundamental disagreement on tax code, which is why I'm frustrated that this has been some sort of they're attacking us and stealing our babies and burning our houses, because it's not. It's a different opinion in tax code. And it is widely misunderstood, and they have pumped so much money into convincing people. So 5 would get rid of the state income tax entirely.
It would
or decrease
eventually take it all the way down to zero.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
'cause
it's a process.
Eventually,
it's a
not
process
next
because
year.
There's too many moving. Well,
Yeah,
within 5
there's
years.
too many moving parts.
Within 5 years, there's too many moving things. I mean, you start that switch, your economy grows. So now your sales tax increases. Now you can reduce the income tax more without having increase the sales tax rate. See, that's the thing. You could do it. Why won't we do it all at once? Well, you've got to give the room for the economy to grow. Otherwise, it's the difference between taking chemotherapy to cure your disease over 12 weeks versus just getting all of the chemo
In one shot. And a lot of people
The first one
think,
that might kill you.
That might kill you. A lot of people, how long?
5 years.
5 years. And another
They have a
interesting-
5-year window. They've got to do it within 5 years. They may get it done sooner.
So they have to pass one bill of legislation within that 5 years. If 5 passes, that's
No.
that's the way Chappell explained
Really,
it.
that's
Yes.
not the way I understand it.
So
They have multiple opportunities they have 5 years to continually pass bills to get it right.
that's not how it was explained in the town hall, which would be interesting for you guys to ask.
Well, he probably knows better than I do since he's actually been there.
But no, people think it's going to be like a light switch that's just going to get turned off. No, that's not what's going to
It's
happen.
like a
Nothing-
dimmer switch,
Nothing
Yeah.
is ever a light switch.
a rheostat.
Yes. And
We're
it
gonna-
is
We're going to
complicated.
turn the rheostat
And
until we get it done.
I think most
Slowly.
people's biggest concern, who are not just working off of misinformation, their biggest concern is they have to trust the legislator to pass appropriate legislation.
100%.
And I understand that concern.
But that's why
totally do.
that's why we vote. And when
Yeah.
you vote, listen, people in the legislature are not oblivious to their constituents. Generally speaking, they want to get reelected.
Yeah.
Right? They want to do what's best for the state. Everybody generally knows their local representative or has the opportunity to.
We're pretty. I'm trying to think of lucky is not the appropriate word. Blessed is not the appropriate word. I think that's a little overstepping it. But here in our vicinity, we've got some people that are the real deal. Like if you make the effort to speak to them, they know your first name. They'll answer your questions. You don't have to worry about them blowing smoke up your skirt. You know, they're going to tell you really what it is. And I know the difference. You know, I've done some done a little lobbying and
Oh, yeah,
visiting the
you're highly
Capitol.
involved.
And I
Yeah.
can tell you the names of a few people that when I walk in their office, that is not what I get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got people local that can help us.
Well, and
Yeah.
here's the thing: you know your people, and your representative knows the other representatives, and so when somebody like Darren Chappell or me maybe says, "Listen, I understand you don't want to trust the legislature. Maybe you'll trust me
Yeah.
because you know me and you voted for me." And if Amendment 5 passes, which cards on the table, I don't think
I don't think it will. I don't think there's any way it had a
There's
chance.
too much emotion and money coming.
Too much money is said that it's like the devil. I mean, and it's crazy.
But there are wonderful legislators in the chamber that are committed to making sure that when it's implemented fairly, that we're not increasing the taxes on basic necessities and groceries. We're not taxing childcare. We're not taxing healthcare. They don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen.
They're people too. I think people forget. We get
and
this.
State legislator are not traditionally wealthy
Yeah,
people.
we get
This
this
is not like
weird
what happens
view
at the
in our
federal
mind
level.
that, especially people at the
It's a
federal
$40,000 a year job.
federal
Yeah.
level, those people
They're,
are
and
beyond
usually
us.
they're working another job. I mean, that's the thing.
But the state
Yeah, come to my
people-
workshops.
Yeah.
Get an estate plan.
The state people, they're just people too.
Yeah.
yeah,
know.
yeah.
They have
really
to buy
are.
bubble gum.
So when
and
somebody
diapers.
like Darren tells me, no, we've got enough legislators with their heads on straight that if and when we get the opportunity to eliminate the income tax by expanding the sales tax, we're going to be able to do it right.
Yeah, that's
And we're going to be able to do it and protect the people that need to be protected, not tax the things that we don't want to tax, and make sure that what we're taxing is luxury and discretionary spending, and we can do that. And there's a large commitment of people that want to do that. I'm part of the Missouri 82 Alliance. They endorsed my campaign. There's 163 legislators in the House, so it takes 82 to pass something.
We're gonna have to go.
Oh yeah, we are going to have to go. So they passed, they endorsed 82 representatives that are committed to fiscal responsibility and other conservative principles. So anyway, go vote
right.
today.
Hey,
Sorry,
see,
that was.
so look,
Thanks for the question, Shanda.
you didn't have to read a book.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it did take 10 minutes, that was way less than having to
reading
read
a
a book
yes.
and do the overwhelming research yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
So,
We'll see you guys next
Thanks
Tuesday.
for watching.